You have been taught to look outward for power, to seek your source of energy in the shifting world of names and forms. The world teaches you to measure yourself by mirrors, to let your sense of self rise and fall with the tides of opinion, fortune, or fleeting circumstance. Yet beneath this restless surface, ancient teachings hidden in the heart of Hermetic wisdom whisper another truth. Thoth, the voice of silent wisdom, reminds us that everything begins within. The first and greatest principle is mentalism. All is mind. This is not mere philosophy, but the master key unlocking the doors between illusion and true reality. Imagine for a moment that your consciousness is not a passenger in the body, but the architect of all you perceive. Everything you see, the colors, the faces, the shifting play of light and shadow, is shaped by the theater of your own awareness. The world you touch is a reflection dancing upon the surface of mind. Each thought you think radiates subtle yet powerful, weaving invisible patterns into the tapestry of your life. How often do we forget this? Each morning we awaken as if the world is already set, as if reality is some unchangeable script handed down from without. But what if each dawn is really the turning of a page, the moment you, as the author, take up the pen once more? As within, so without, says the kybalion, and nowhere is this more evident than in the silent shaping of your inner dialogue. Picture a gardener walking into a wild field. The seeds are there waiting. With intention, the gardener chooses what will grow: lavender for calm, oak for strength room, wildflowers for joy. So too do your thoughts plant seeds in the rich soil of the mind. Anxieties like weeds can choke the garden, but with gentle attention, you can choose which thoughts to nourish, which to uproot, which to let wither away. The ancient sages saw the world not as a collection of solid objects, but as an endless play of consciousness. Quantum science, in its own way, echoes this, revealing that the observer, by the very act of seeing, collapses the infinite possibilities of the universe into a single reality. You are the observer, the sculptor of probability. Every belief you hold is a lens bending the raw light of creation into form. To change your world, you must begin where all worlds begin, in the mind's stillness. Consider the moments in your life when you felt powerless, perhaps in the presence of criticism or at the mercy of events beyond your control. Now look deeper. Was it the event itself that imprisoned you, or the story you told yourself about what it meant? To remember your sovereignty is to reclaim the authorship of those stories. The world is less a prison and more a canvas, one that waits for the touch of your intention. So tonight, as you drift toward sleep, become aware of your thoughts as living energies. Watch how one leads to another, like pearls on a string. Notice how easily you can step back, become the witness, the silent presence behind the thoughts. In this stillness, plant a new seed. My mind is the root of all creation. I am not at the mercy of circumstance. I am the alchemist of experience. As you hold this awareness, subtle shifts begin. The outer world softens, becoming more malleable, responsive to your inner clarity. The power you sought outside was always waiting with impatient and unwavering, like a lamp in the heart of the temple. The Hermetic master's secret is not control over the world, but gentle mastery of one's own mind. There is nothing mystical in the sense of unreachable, only the mystery of remembering that you are the source. Ask yourself, what would change if I truly believed the world is mine? What new stories could I write upon the tablet of my days? Gently, with kindness, allow yourself to awaken to this truth. The doorway to all transformation opens inward, and you hold the key. In the silence that follows awakening, the world becomes a hall of mirrors, each surface reflecting the endless play of being. The ancient Hermetic law of correspondence whispers, as above, so below, as within, so without. This is not only a cosmic axiom, but a living map, showing us that what stirs in the vastness of galaxies is echoed in the smallest corners of our own souls. To remember this is to stand at the threshold of true wisdom, where the infinite reveals itself, in the familiar and the sacred pattern of the universe is found written in the folds of our own lives. Picture the night sky, tapestry woven with stars, their silent light traveling through the black velvet of eternity. Within you, a similar sky exists. Your thoughts and emotions shimmer like constellations, some shining steady, others flickering in and out. The same geometry that governs the spiral of galaxies also shapes the growth of a fern, the curling of a wave, the subtle whirls of your own fingertips. The world without is a reflection of the world within, and the worlds within are fractal echoes of the great all. Yet so often, we forget this kinship. We wander the surface of life caught in the illusion of separation, feeling as if we are isolated islands adrift in a sea of strangers. But in rare moments, perhaps in the hush before dawn or the quiet after heartbreak, we glimpse the deeper truth, what moves through you and moves through all things. The same pulse that animates your heart animates the cosmos. When you smile, when you forgive, when you create, the ripples travel outward, unseen but real, touching everything. Consider the way a single kind word can soften the hardest heart, or how anger, even unspoken, seems to poison a room. Have you ever noticed how your mood colors the world? How on days of joy, everything seems brighter, and on days of sorrow, the very air feels heavy. This is correspondence in action. The energy you hold within is mirrored back to you by the world. Life becomes a dance of resonance where your inner frequency tunes the outer symphony. Quantum philosophers tell us the universe is not a machine, but a great entangled web where the smallest act of observation can affect distant particles. Hermeticism teaches the same clothed in older language. Your consciousness is not locked in your skull. It is woven into the living tapestry of existence. When you heal a wound within the world, outside shifts subtly but truly. When you hold gratitude, the universe responds in kind. To embody the principle of correspondence is to become a conscious participant in creation. The lines between self and other begin to blur. Judgments soften, compassion deepens. The next time you feel triggered by another's actions, ask yourself, what is being reflected here? What hidden part of myself longs for recognition, for healing, for love? The world is not punishing you, but showing you where the inner work is calling. Every encounter becomes an opportunity for deeper self-discovery. Try this. As you move through your day, notice the recurring patterns in your experiences. Are there echoes, synchronicities, repeated lessons? Instead of dismissing them as random, greet them as messages from the universe signposts pointing the way inward. If conflict arises, ask, what am I being shown? If beauty catches your breath, let it remind you of your own hidden splendor. When you change your inner landscape, you change the world you see. By living in the light of correspondence, you begin to realize that nothing is wasted. Nothing is outside the circle of meaning. The greatest secrets are not hidden in distant stars, but revealed in the pattern of your own days. The Hermetic sages did not seek to escape the world, but to read its signs, to see the face of the divine in every ordinary moment. You are not separate. You are the echo, and the original, the wave, and the sea. As above, so below. As within, so without. Let this remembrance bring you peace. The universe is not against you. It is for you, with you mirrored in you. Each breath you take is a sacred correspondence, a silent vow exchanged between self and cosmos. Ask yourself now, what is the world reflecting to me? What harmony or discord within is seeking expression? Gently invite the answer and let it guide you deeper into alignment until you see yourself everywhere and the world shines back the truth of who you are. Listen now to the subtle music beneath the surface of things, a gentle hum that binds all forms, the silent language of vibration. The third Hermetic principle reveals itself, nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. In this living universe, nothing is truly static, not even the stones beneath your feet or the hopes that dwell within your chest. All is in motion, all is alive, shimmering at frequencies that shape the visible and the invisible alike. Imagine reality as a vast ocean of energy. Every thought, a pebble cast upon the surface, each feeling a current swirling beneath. You are not a solitary wave, isolated and powerless, but an inseparable part of the great movement. Your frequency is not fixed by circumstance, but tuned by attention, intention, and presence. The ancient alchemists spoke not only in metaphor, but in the deep language of experience. Change your vibration, and you change the world you meet. Let us dwell for a moment in the spaces between words, between breaths. Notice how your mood rises and falls like a tide, sometimes lifting you effortlessly, sometimes pulling you downward. Recall a time when laughter transformed a heavy heart, or when a single piece of music could shift your entire outlook. This is vibration at play, an orchestra in which you are both listener and conductor. Each thought is a note, each emotion a chord. The harmony or discord you feel is your inner frequency resonating with the field of life. Modern science, peering deep into the quantum realm, has found that the very fabric of reality is energy and motion fields, vibrating particles appearing and dissolving with the movement of observation. The universe is less a collection of solid things than a river of possibility, its course shaped by how you tune your awareness. To live unconsciously is to be tossed by these currents. To live consciously is to become the navigator, choosing your direction by the energy you cultivate within. Practical alchemy begins here. Become aware of your own vibration. Sit quietly, close your eyes, and feel your body as a field, not a form. Can you sense the tingling in your hands, the gentle current beneath your skin? Can you listen to your thoughts as waves passing through the mind? Some soothing, some agitating. In this moment of attention, you awaken as both the observer and the creator. You are the tuning fork. The world is your echo. In the presence of pain or fear, notice how your energy contracts, becoming dense, heavy. When you feel gratitude, love, or peace, notice how you expand light, open, receptive. These are not metaphors, but direct sensations. And from this awareness arises the power of transmutation. To shift your state, you need not fight what is, but gently raise your frequency. Begin with a breath deep and slow. Invite a single loving thought, however small. Let it ripple outward, touching every cell, every corner of your being. The alchemists spoke of refining base metals into gold, but the true work was always inner, to raise the vibration of the self, to move from the density of fear to the radiance of wisdom. Day by day, moment by moment, you can practice this art. Surround yourself with what uplifts you. Nature, beauty, music, kindred spirits. Guard the gateway of your mind. For every image, every word is a seed. Choose those that tune you to higher states. Consider this. Every encounter is an exchange of energy. Notice how you feel after leaving certain places or people. Do you feel drained or inspired? This is not judgment, but discernment. A sacred responsibility to honor your own field. With compassion, set boundaries where needed, and nurture your inner sanctuary. You are both a receiver and a transmitter. When you hold peace, within you offer peace to the world. Tonight, as you lay down to rest, ask yourself, what is my vibration in this moment? What music am I playing for the universe to hear? Gently, lovingly choose to tune yourself a little higher, not by force, but by remembering that your essence is already harmonious, already divine. In this remembrance, you join the cosmic dance, and your life becomes a song of healing, not only for yourself, but for all. Life unfolds as a river, its currents carrying us through cycles of light and shadow, gain and loss, joy and sorrow. The wise have always known that beneath the surface, two great laws shape the flow of all things: polarity and rhythm. Everything is dual. Everything has poles, speaks the Hermetic teaching. Everything flows out and in. Everything has its tides. These are not restrictions, but revelation signposts, pointing the way to balance the secret heart of alchemical mastery. Imagine a pendulum suspended in perfect stillness until a gentle push sends it swinging. Each arc from left to right mirrors the other in silent unity, and the further it travels in one direction, the further it must return. So too do our experiences, pleasure and pain. Hope and despair rise and fall, not as punishments or rewards, but as necessary expressions of life's wholeness. The law of polarity teaches that every quality is paired with its opposite, and each contains the seed of the other. Heat and cold, love and fear, courage and doubt, all are but different degrees of the same essence. It is easy to cling to one pole, wishing for joy without sorrow, gain without loss, sunrise without sunset. Yet to resist life's rhythm is to suffer, for the universe itself is woven of cycles. Consider the ocean's tide, the turning of the seasons, the beating of your own heart. All things move in waves, rising and falling, coming and going, forever, dancing in the embrace of change. Have you ever noticed how after moments of deep struggle, a sudden peace arrives, soft, unexpected, like the sun breaking through clouds, or how laughter often follows tears and creativity bursts forth from boredom? These shifts are not random, but evidence of a deeper intelligence guiding the rhythm of your days. The Hermetic adept learns to ride these tides not as a passive victim, but as a skillful sailor, adjusting the sails of awareness to move with the currents rather than against them. When pain arises, instead of sinking into despair, become curious. What opposite is waiting to be born from this experience? If you are lost in darkness, remember that light is not somewhere else, but already present as a possibility within the shadow. The alchemist does not deny sorrow, but embraces it, knowing that every descent contains the promise of ascent. To hold both poles in awareness is to stand in the center of the silent axis where true transformation occurs. Practical wisdom lies in learning to balance the opposites within you. When anxiety tightens your chest, invite the energy of calm, not to banish the fear, but to create a field where both can coexist and transform. When you are angry, honor the fire, but also seek its source, often a deep longing for love or respect. In relationship, when conflict appears, see it as a dance between poles, an invitation to find the point of union, the middle path where understanding grows. Day by day, become the observer of your own rhythms. Notice your patterns when you feel most alive, most withdrawn, most hopeful, most weary. Do not judge these cycles, but bless them, for they are the breath of life itself. Just as the moon waxes and wanes, so does your energy, your mood, your inspiration. The Hermetic path is not to cling to the highs or fear the lows, but to trust the wisdom of rhythm and to find stillness in motion. If you wish to transmute energy, do not resist the swing of the pendulum. Instead, learn to pause in the center, the heart of the storm, where all opposites dissolve into peace. In meditation, breathe deeply and watch the rise and fall of sensation, the play of thought in silence. With practice, you will notice that the world loses its power to shake you. You become steady, grounded, unshaken by the changing tides. Tonight, before sleep, reflect. Where have I been, resisting life's rhythm? What opposites within me are asking to be reconciled? Gently allow yourself to rest in the center, feeling both poles honoring the wisdom in all experience. You are the pendulum and the axis, the wave and the stillness. In this harmony, you awaken as the alchemist, mastering the dance of duality and turning the cycles of fate into music for the soul. Now you stand at the threshold of true alchemy, where knowledge becomes living wisdom and the ancient art of transmutation unfolds in every breath. This is the domain of conscious will, where the final Hermetic secrets reveal themselves not as distant ideals, but as immediate powers ever present within your reach. To transmute energy is not to deny reality, but to participate in its unfolding, to be both the artist and the canvas, the healer and the wound, the question and the answer. Remember, the sages did not promise escape from life, but a deeper immersion, a way of walking through the world, awake, sovereign, and luminous. The kybalion speaks mastery, consists not in abnormal dreams, visions, and fantastic imaginings or living, but in using the higher forces against the lower, escaping the pains of the lower planes by vibrating on the higher. This is the true philosopher's stone, the power to transform not only what is before you, but who you are in every moment. Transmutation begins with acceptance, the clear, gentle seeing of what is without judgment or denial. All energy can be transformed, but nothing can be healed while hidden in the shadows. The adept meets sorrow with compassion, anger with understanding fear, with courage, and asks, what is this energy asking to become? The moment you turn the light of consciousness upon any state, no matter how dense or painful, it begins to shift to reveal its deeper wisdom. What was once poison becomes medicine. What was once a wound becomes a doorway. Imagine a potter at the wheel, hands wet with clay. The raw material is formless but not lifeless. Within it lies infinite potential. The potter's intention, patience, and skill give shape to the vessel. So too with your inner life. Your thoughts, feelings, and experiences are clay shapeless until touched by your awareness, your will, your loving discipline. Spiritual alchemy is not about force, but about presence and creative engagement. It is the art of saying yes to the moment, then guiding it gently toward its highest expression. In daily life, opportunities for transmutation abound. When you encounter frustration at work, pause and breathe. Ask yourself, what power is hiding beneath this irritation? Perhaps it is the energy of focus, or the call to set a boundary, or the yearning for creative challenge. When you feel jealousy, look deeper. Is there an unloved part of you that longs to be seen and celebrated? Bring this part into the warmth of your heart. Every difficult emotion, every repeating pattern is an alchemical ingredient waiting for you to engage, to bless, to transform. Practical instruction is simple but profound. Make a habit of noticing, naming, and nurturing your energy states. When you feel the pull of lower vibrations, resentment, fear, shame, do not run or resist. Gently observe, breathe, and welcome the sensation. Name it. This is sadness. This is anxiety. This is longing. Then ask with true curiosity, what does this energy need? How can I serve its transformation? Sometimes the answer is movement, take a walk. Dance, let the energy flow. Sometimes it is stillness, rest, meditate. Allow yourself to simply be. Sometimes it is creative expression. Write, paint, sing. Let the energy take new form. Over time, you become the alchemist, not because you control every event, but because you shape your response, your attitude, your vibration. The external world may not always bend to your will, but the inner world is yours to cultivate. Like a musician tuning their instrument, you can return again and again to your highest frequency compassion, presence, wonder, love. This is the great work, the sacred labor of turning the lead of unconsciousness into the gold of self-mastery. The secret is not in striving for perfection, but in living with conscious intention. Each day, wake with the question, how will I transmute today's energy into wisdom, beauty, and peace? Each night, rest with gratitude for the journey, knowing that even the hardest moments are raw material for your art. You are not here to be untouched by life, but to transform it moment by moment, breath by breath, until every experience becomes an offering, a gift, a song. Let this remembrance settle in your bones. The alchemist's touch is not magic reserved for the few, but the birthright of all who awaken to their own creative power. The laboratory is your own heart. The elements are your thoughts, your feelings, your will. With gentle courage and luminous intent, you turn the wheel, shaping destiny from the inside out. In this, you fulfill the promise of the Hermetic path, walking as a conscious creator, radiant and free. You have journeyed through the inner temples of Hermetic wisdom, passing beyond the illusions of outer circumstance to the infinite power that lives quietly within. Each principle, like a torch, has illuminated the sacred truth. You are both the dreamer and the dream, the artist and the canvas, the healer and the wound. The world's surface, so often distracting, so often loud, begins to soften when you remember that your awareness is the true center from which all things radiate. The invitation is gentle yet profound. To live as an alchemist is not to escape life, but to enter it with presence and purpose, blessing both shadow and light. Let the 7 principles guide your days, not as rigid rules, but as living wisdom, reminders that you are always shaping, always transmuting, always free to choose the vibration of your being. Life will continue to flow with its tides of joy and sorrow, but now you know the deeper current. Now you can meet each moment with a whisper of remembrance, I am the alchemist, and all begins within. If this journey has stirred something in your heart, if you felt the quiet calling to awaken, to align, to live with luminous intent, know that you are not alone. Share your thoughts, your stories, your awakenings. Let this be a community of kindred spirits walking the path of conscious creation together. Subscribe, reflect, and remember. The power to transmute, to heal, to create was never outside you. It is yours now and always.